Alright, what is going on everybody on YouTube? Griffin here coming back with another video from Millennial Motivation Entrepreneur for you guys. First and foremost, if this is your first video to this channel, definitely, sorry, I'm trying to get everything put together real quick before people start hopping on here, but definitely consider hitting that subscribe button below as always, especially if you're just looking to maybe change things up, achieve some financial freedom this year. Maybe not even achieving financial freedom, but just making more money at the end of the day. Maybe you like your job, but maybe you're just looking to make some more money. Obviously, right now, this probably looks a little confusing if you haven't ever invested in the stock market, but don't worry, I will clean it up for those of you that are new here in a minute. For those of you that aren't new to me, you know that I have a different look to my chart, and I'll go over that here in a second. But first and foremost, today, if you were trading, you obviously know today was a very good day. I actually predicted, if you follow me on my social media accounts at all, if not, they're in my description box. But sorry, I'm still getting over this cold flu, whatever it is. But I actually said that I thought today would be a quote-unquote Black Monday. Obviously, if you know anything about history, Black Monday, the stock market dropped like a historic amount in like the 1920s or 30s, somewhere on there. It's been a while since I've been in school, so I forget. But I predicted an overall bad day for the market. But however, I still predicted that I myself would do roughly 4 to 6%. And we did just that, just under 5% today with only drip. I'll talk about JDST and why I went ahead and decided with just my overall thought process, thought it'd be best to just go ahead and cut my losses as well. And I'm glad I did, because it looks like tomorrow is going to be a really bad day for JDST, but we'll get into all that here in a minute. First and foremost, I just want to make sure that the chat and everything is doing all right. So the stream is, we got the chat there. So yeah, if you all have any questions, I'm only going to be here for about 10 to 15 minutes today. I know I always say that I try to keep it short, and ends up being like a half hour, but dinner's actually just about ready. She said it'll be ready in about 15 minutes. So I'm going to try and just get to the point. If you guys do have any questions though, just make sure to throw them in the chat there, and I'll be sure to check it periodically. But so if you're wondering what this orange deal is going on with my graph, obviously my graph looks pretty crazy here right now. This is drip. For those of you that are following, obviously it's down to 12.22. I actually cashed out at 13.20 or 13.21. Let me go ahead and get my Robinhood pulled up so I'm not guessing while we continue to dive into drip. But yeah, so overall I actually made $17 on drip, and I could have made some more if I would went all in on it, but of course I never suggest you guys going all in on one specific stock. I like to at least diversify my account, at least between like two accounts, two stocks or ETFs. That way, if one like JDST happens to do really bad, you can have something like drip or gush or whatever stocks, ETFs that you're investing in, to pull your account right back up. So after everything, after JDST's drop and where I sold it off at, after what I made on drip, I actually cleared about $13 today, which isn't huge. That comes down to, let me see here, that comes down to about 2.5% after what I lost with JDST, like I said. But the overall outlook on JDST does not look that well. It doesn't look great, to say the least. So that's why I went ahead and cut losses. Like I said, we'll get into that here in a minute. But anyways, back on track. What is this that I got going on here? So if you go into your studies, you can see this is literally my setup right now. The one that's orange is the Momentum SMA. If you want to know like how to change the colors of your graphs and whatnot, just go into your settings. Boom, you got your color right there. You can, it looks like apparently there's all kinds of colors you can pick from, but that's not really a huge deal at the end of the day. I just like to keep mine where like the colors are different enough where there's not a bunch of confusion going on. Then of course I have the displaced EMA, have the simple moving average, have the RSI down below, as well as the MACD, and then obviously I thought I had the volume. Do I not have volume? Or yeah, my volume's up here, that's why. But anyways, so yeah, I'll go ahead and take that off here in a minute. The reason why I kept it on here was because I wanted to show you guys why I'm thinking now, I may not be correct on this, but I'm starting to think there might be a reversal going on between drip and gush. And why is that? Because lately, the last like day or so, you see obviously like drip still has been making new lows of late. However, today it did not hit that new low. It didn't even get close. We didn't even go under like what, 12.20. We didn't even go under like 12.20, maybe 12. It looks like we might have for a little bit at the end of the day, but we didn't go under like 12.15, somewhere around there today, guys. So that's not like a full-on confirmation or anything like that, but if you just look at the overall pattern and look at this momentum that it has going, as well as the volume behind this stock, let's go ahead and just zoom in like on the 1 day specifically. You can see that every time the drip started to go down, it gained volume really quick and would go back up. I'll go ahead and before I go ahead and take that off, we're going to go ahead and go back to 5 day. And then what we'll do is go over to Gush so you can see what I'm talking about. Look at Gush. The momentum is actually starting to trend. It was trending up above it. Now it's trending where? Below it 99% of the time. So if you look at that, as well as just how Gush has been trending the last like 2 days, it did show the sign of like a bull flag or bull pattern right here, and it shot up to almost $25. However, it got rejected by the $25 resistance and has kind of just trended back down as of late. However, this kind of intrigued me right here because this almost resembles somewhat of a bull pattern right here, and it looks like it's trying to again shoot right back up. However, if you look right here, it looks like it's there's a resistance here right around $24. Right now it's obviously at $24.21, so it has passed that, but right around $24 to $24.10 is about the resistance, and it looks like it's having a hard time. And RSI obviously shows it's way overbought. MACD doesn't really show that it's necessarily getting right. I mean, it looks like though it is gonna. Overall, I'm predicting that Gush in the morning is going to continue trend down just by looking at everything overall. And this is it SMA? I always get some of mine mixed up. My simple moving average. So yeah, SMA. This SMA indicator, this green line, like I always say, it can act as either a support or resistance. And as you can see, ever since it kind of went down below it right here, the SMA has kind of acted as resistance instead of a support. It kind of acted as a support before, and look right here, it kind of acted as a support, acted like one right here, and then boom, it got rejected, came up above it, boom, got rejected, up above it again. Are we going to see the same thing? Who's to say? If so, that'll be a new low high. So then, in inverse to that, what are we going to see? We're going to see drip make a possible, I wouldn't say new high, I doubt it's going to get up to $14, $15, but instead of seeing a new low high on drip, I think we might see a potential like new 3 to 4 day high for drip. So where do I see drip going? Obviously it hit like 13.21 for a brief second this morning. Luckily I caught my profits. I'll talk about that in a minute. Sold off for like 13.21. Let me go ahead and get it pulled up to be exact. So yeah, 13.20. But anyways, so what do I see with drip? Drip, looky here. If we go back to the 1 day, so now that we're back on drip, I'll go ahead and get this taken off here. Hopefully you guys understand the whole momentum SMA. If you want me to go in further with the momentum SMA, I'm still learning about a bunch of these myself. I'm just always interested in looking at all different kinds of studies and just graphs overall. So I'm still learning too, of course. I'm not like a master or anything, but if you want to know more about momentum SMA, just let me know and I'll try to do a video over that in the future. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and take it off just to clean this up a little bit. So obviously, if you look at the trend line that I called out, I think yesterday, I said because of how I drew it, I think I did it yesterday, but obviously I have so much going on, I forget. I predicted that we'd trend up here to roughly around around 13.25. I actually set my alert at 13.25. However, luckily, at my job, I'm able to look at it almost constantly. I saw it kept having trouble getting like above $13, really, in all honesty. It hovered around $12.90 for a really long time, and then out of nowhere, boom, it just caught some momentum and just shot up to 13. I watched it really hard. It just, after it hit 13, I mean, it was quick, guys. It was like 10-15 minutes. It went from 13 to 13.20, and then I saw around 13.20 is having issues, so I was like, I think it's about to get rejected. There's going to be a resistance around 13.20. Sure enough, it did. Boom, sold off, but I locked in my profits at 13.20, which was like to be exact, it was like 4.4 or pretty much 4.5%, guys. It was like 4.489 or something like that percent. So rounded up, 4.5% is what I locked in. Like I said, $17. I only had like 30 shares. Yeah, 30 shares. So nothing big, $17 made. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you, like I said, if you can do above 4%, 5%, if you can do above that every single day, if you can do 2% or more a day, you're doing what 95% of traders cannot do, because they just, at the end of the day, just get cocky. They trust what they think. Like I could have said, oh, I'm going to hold out. I believe it is going to hit 13.25. But why would I hold out for 13.25? That's 4 pennies times 30 cents. Yes, that would have been $1 extra made, $1.20. But why would I risk making another dollar when I could potentially lose all those profits like that? So that's just my thought process at the end of the day. I mean, everybody's obviously going to have their own opinion. And when I broke it down, 4 extra pennies was like less than 1/4% or something like that, if I remember right. So I mean, it's just not worth it, guys. Always cover the profits. You can always get back in, but you may never get those. I mean, I'm not gonna say never, but you could potentially never see that return again. So I mean, it's just something to think about. I mean, looky here. Obviously, it trended down. However, anyways, moving on. I did kind of call that out, obviously. Obviously, these lines aren't going to be 100% perfect or anything. But overall, my pattern was about right. I said it would get up near 13.25. Did 13.21. Boom, got rejected. Came back down. However, it did not come down as low as I expected. I thought we would, again, make new lows. But if you look here, what do you see right there? A little bull pattern and another one right here. Boom, shot up. You see another one right here. Boom, shot up. So, I mean, it still has a pattern. However, you look right here, it did kind of start taking the dip down. Then, obviously, it just trended down for the rest of the day. So, I'm anxious to see what's going to happen pre-market hours tomorrow. Are we going to see it take this number, take a little dip, and then shoot up again and possibly make a new, quote-unquote, like 1 week high maybe? About a 1 week, if I remember right. It'd be like a 5-day high, essentially. I believe so. However, like I said, I'm going to watch it early market hours. Obviously, the RSI is showing that it is overbought, so that's something to be on the lookout for. MACD hasn't really, I haven't really even been paying attention to the MACD with this one, in all honesty. I've been paying more attention to just the RSI and the overall trend, and then obviously I've been looking at Gush, just kind of tracking the two and just seeing really how's it going and whatnot. But so yeah, I'm definitely interested still in drip. I'm really just in love with drip right now. I've made like probably the last few days that I've traded, I would say about 10% at least off of drip. So I mean, it's definitely been a good little investment for me, just a quick little day trade here and there. However, I probably will not day trade it at all tomorrow because I only have about a $50 account balance, and obviously I'm trying to like get my account to where I day trade all of that. You know, with using Robinhood, you have a 1 day period you have to wait. So all of it should be available Wednesday. I'll use it all Wednesday, and then Friday, and then Tuesday, and then Thursday, and then Monday, and then so on and so on. You all get the point. But anyway, so tomorrow is probably going to be a day off for me. So I'm doing this more for you guys and more than for me, because obviously with how volatile the stock market is right now, I mean, it could be the opposite. By tomorrow, Gush could be on the rise and drip may be on the low. I mean, but I'm thinking over the next few days, maybe even for the rest of this week, Gush and drip are going to see reversals. I think Gush is going to top out somewhere right around 24.25. It's already at 24.21. I look for it to continue this just a little curve and go ahead and trend down. What's going to be interesting is looking at this 1 day versus the 5 day. You see the SMA. The SMA is starting to trend up on the 1 day. But however, look, it started trending up here. It went below, and then it started trending down, and then acted as a resistance. So are we going to see something similar to the like previous day or so? Are we going to see the SMA trend up, and then the overall like the bid and buy and all that, all of our candles start to trend below, and then also the SMA go down? Because I mean, if you look at, what was it, the 5 day? You look at the 5 day, look, it's acting as a resistance right here. So it's just something to keep an eye on, like I said, or what's going to happen. I think, like I said, what I'm predicting is that it's going to go ahead and trend down. It's going to go below that SMA, and then the SMA is going to continue to act like a resistance. I think we may even go below the line here of where I'm looking. It might go below 22.90. Obviously, it did for a little bit today. I look for it to eventually trend down, like I even showed here. I'd look for it to trend around 21.50 maybe tomorrow. If not, then Wednesday for sure. So, I mean, however, like I said, if you just look here, it had this little, I wouldn't even really call that a bull pattern, actually. I would call this more of a bull pattern. That's why I shot up to almost $25 on Friday. But however, just the overall pattern of this, I mean, it's just something to be on the lookout for. Definitely, these are day trades. Gush and drip are day trades for sure. I mean, yeah, you could swing trade them for a week. Because, I mean, if you still look at like the 10 day, I mean, Gush overall, if you had gotten in around here, around 22.55, and you rode it up to about 24.55, I mean, you'd have made $2. I mean, you're talking, what, like 10% profit, maybe even more in just a few days. You're talking 1, 2, 3 market days. So, I mean, still a potential for a swing trade. It's just something, like I said, to be on the lookout for. There might be a potential reversal or some sort of small sell-off correction maybe. And I think these are oil-based. So you want to look at /CL, if I remember right. Yeah, crude oil. If you look here, Crude oil is kind of consolidating right now, right around $65. It did all day today. So it's just something, again, to be on the lookout for. Is it going to test this SMA? If it goes below the SMA, sorry about that. Stupid spam calls. If it goes below the SMA, obviously Gush is in sort of trouble. And I think really oil, I don't really see it going above $66. And I was talking to a bunch of people, believe it or not, on Stock Twist. The people on there are actually somewhat informative today. A lot of people just overall do not see oil really going above 66. I mean, if we even go back to the 180 day, if I remember right, I don't think we've hit above, we have not hit above $70. I mean, 66 has really been a hard resistance. However, if you look at this overall pattern, what does that signal? A potential bull pattern. So, who knows? I mean, if it breaks, I think if we get to $67, then crude will go ahead and keep taking off, which is something to be on the lookout for at the gas pumps as well. Obviously, as this goes up, your price of oil, your price of gas is going to go up. So, something to be on the lookout for, if for nothing else, to look for your gas prices at the minimum. So as oil goes up, your gas prices are going to go up, obviously, duh. And as they go down, your price at the tank is going to go down, obviously. So, yeah, I don't want to really ride on these too long. Obviously, most of you know I'm in love with those two ETFs right now. But let me go ahead and make sure the stream's still doing all right. And that, wow, we're already at 16 minutes. Whew, I bet dinner's about done. But I also want to talk about really quick Seed. Obviously, and Acre really quick. So I mentioned Seed. I said that I did not have no faith in Seed at all. Well, look at this one day. Boom. Can someone scream pump and dump? I mean, like I said, it's just something that I don't, like I said, at the most, I would look at it as a day trade. However, I did call out that there would be a support roughly around 80 to 82 cents. What did it do? It got rejected at 80 cents over and over. Eventually, it shot back up. Is this because of a pump and dump? Who knows? I haven't been messing with Seed at all. I didn't even look at it today whatsoever. However, I did look at Acre because I saw Acre right off the bat this morning, and I was like, holy crap. I was like, what the hell happened? Early market hours. I mean, look what happened, guys. It went from 80 cents, boom, to 98, first thing in the morning. If you were to catch it right as the market opened here around 8:30, let's go ahead and zoom in really close here. So if you were to catch it first thing in the morning, you would have still had to buy in around 92 cents. If you were to sell it off at the 97, you're looking at what, a 7-cent profit off of 91 cents. So 0.07. You're not going to look at a huge profit in all honesty. I mean, decent for sure, but divided by your 91. Oh, wrong one. Dummy. 0.07 divided by 0.91. Boom. Almost 8% in minutes. So, I mean, that was one that I was just like, holy hell, what the hell's going on with Acre? However, I did not look at it that much, of course, because obviously it went right back down. Seems to be actually consolidating around 90 cents, 91 cents. So something to be on the lookout for. Is it going to, obviously as well, the SMA is acting as a support. So something to be on the lookout for. Is it going to test that support and go below it? I don't think so. I think we will see it bounce and continue to trend up near $1. But I'm just, like I said, after my experience with Acre, I'm probably not going to invest in it. But, I mean, at the end of the day, that was my fault. Obviously, you should never let your feelings or my feelings about a stock determine what you should and should not invest in. But, I mean, good for you if you caught this. But, yeah, other than that, BPMX is still trash, like I said. Do we want to talk about DGAS or anything? If you guys want me to go over DGAS or UGAS, let me know. Other than that, I think I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap stuff up here in a minute. I will say this. I think DGAS and UGAS, what the hell happened? I thought I had these guys all right. But I'm going to go ahead and edit this real quick while I'm here. Boom. We're going to do this. Where is UGAS? Why is it not? Move up. Boom. I don't know why it's not staying up. Anyways, or maybe I need to do it like this. No. Okay, whatever. Anyways, I do think that DGAS and UGAS we might be seeing. I'll go ahead and talk about those real quick because I might be wrong and I don't want to be wrong on this. I think that DGAS and UGAS we might be seeing some sort of. Let me go ahead and go back to the 10-day. or maybe just 5-day. I got so many lines going on here, it's kind of messing me up. I think that DGAS and UGAS, we might be seeing a potential reversal as well. Maybe not, actually. Let's see. The last 2 days. Boom. And we hit a new low of 51.34. Boom. And then we go back to DGAS. So obviously we hit a high. Let's just do it right here. Maybe. Boom. Do it like that. Something like that. Right around there. And then right about there. So I'm thinking we might be seeing a potential. I don't want to really say that because we've seen this before and then it shot back up. We might be seeing it continue that trend. It's just something to be on the lookout for. If it trends down again tomorrow, I would go ahead and venture to say we might be seeing a potential reversal between these two stocks, these two ETFs, DGAS and UGAS. However, I'm not really going to say too much because I don't want to be wrong on this and I don't want anyone to trade based off anything I'm saying. Not that I think you guys would, because I always preach I don't want you guys to trade based off my opinion. I'm just, again, showing you guys how I'm thinking about these stocks and ETFs. However, obviously, if we go ahead, let's go back further, 180 day. So let's go ahead and look right there. So we are approaching a resistance right around $32. If we look here, there seems to obviously be a decent size, if I can get it right on the money here. There is a resistance right around $32 where it keeps getting rejected. So we might be seeing that it's getting rejected. However, we're not really too close to the 32. We're currently around $29, $30. But RSI does indicate that it is over. Well, right now it's showing it's not really overbought, but overall it does show that it was overbought when it got around that high of the recent high of 31.57. So again, we'll go ahead and go back here to just the 5-day. As you see, it got really close to that resistance, boom, got rejected, and that's just been getting rejected ever since. And when you look at that overall pattern, going back to the 180-day, let's just go right here. So if you look at that overall pattern, obviously I got in a little bit too much with that 43. That was the sell-off, of course. Actually, let me go ahead and just redo that so you guys don't get confused. We'll go ahead and get it right here. Boom, there we go. So as you can see, what happened? As soon as it got close to that, boom, had a sell-off as low as 16.98. Got up to it, boom. Didn't actually make as bad of a, didn't have as bad as a sell-off, of course. It actually made a new low high. So if we want to go ahead and kind of make a new trend, so to speak, of like new lows, you would do it like this, something like that. So if you want to look at it from that standpoint, this is obviously like a bull pattern. Now that I'm looking at this would be your quote-unquote bull flag pattern. For those of you that don't understand that, if you look at here at this, it makes a flag right here. You see the old resistance or the current resistance right here. You see the trend that the lows are trending up, which means the highs are possibly getting ready to trend up as well. Just something to be on the lookout for. This is pretty much going to be make or break. Now that I'm really looking at this, I'm really intrigued by this. This means that within the next few days, probably within the next week, we're going to see it pretty much come to its breaking point, meaning is it going to continue to trend up or is it going to get ready to have a huge sell-off and continue to trend down? Something to definitely be on the lookout for sure. I know I got a big mess going on right in here, but overall, surely you all can see that. You see a little bull pattern right here. Boom, it shot up the last week or so because of that as well. Wow, now that I'm looking at this from this point of view, I'm really getting interested because this might be a potential swing trade. So, because even if you get in right around, where's it at now, 29.88, so you're looking right about here. Let's say you waited till 29.95 and you rode it up to around that resistance. You're looking at what? About, let's say you sold it just short of the resistance. You're looking at, you see that guys, 6.18%, around 6%. So, I mean, there's definitely potential for a swing trade there or maybe even a possible day trade. The day trade potential is looking more like 3 to 4%. Swing trade looking at more around 6%. And then, obviously, if it can break that resistance, then you're looking at even higher. But I personally always like to cover profits. If I can cover 6% of profits in a few days, like I said, you can always get back in, but you may mess up if you don't set a stop loss or stop limit or whatever. If you don't set some sort of limit where it will do it automatically for you. If you actually have a job like myself and you, for some reason, miss your opportunity to end up covering those profits. You could lose all of them just like that. So just something to be on the lookout for. With DGAS, UGAS obviously would be the total opposite. Oh, UGAS, maybe if I can get it spelled right. UGAS, obviously, as we can see here, what are we gonna see about the total opposite? So we're gonna do our pattern like what? It's actually not as pretty as UGAS was, or DGAS. DGAS was pretty easy. But yeah, I don't want to really go into this too much more. Obviously, like I said, JDST, I'll go ahead and hit that just really quick. JDST obviously had another not so good day. And why is that? If you go and look at /GC, /GC continues to make, I wouldn't say new highs. It's getting near that resistance around 1365. However, it's currently where? At 1359. I luckily sold mine off when this was right around 1350, if I remember right, because it was consolidating really well around like 1350. So for a while, I thought, wow, this thing might show a sign that's finally getting ready to at least somewhat have a little sell-off, and I was gonna try to get it right around the SMA, so probably right around 1356, or maybe it was a little higher. Where were we? So one day, what time is this? Okay, so I'm way too far. Okay, so this is where I was looking at. So right around this morning, as you can see, it consolidated really well around 1350, 1355. And I was like, okay, at that time, the SMA was like down here. So I was like, okay, if we can have a sell-off, boom, I would get in around 1353, or I would sell off around 1353, which obviously JDST would be at its highest point, roughly right around like 52 maybe, if it was. No, it'd be around like 51 to 52 at the highest. So I was just looking to at least cut as much of the loss out. However, I was just like, I was looking, when I look back at that 180 day, or not even 180 day, yeah, actually it was 180 day. When I look back at the 180 day, I was like, shoot, it's approaching that resistance around 1365. I think it's going to continue on up to that resistance before it even considers having a pullback. Keyword considers. It could always burst through it, of course. Spring tends to be gold season, so to speak. Gold tends to go up more in spring, it seems like, for some reason. So it could obviously smash through that resistance. So I just wanted to not take the risk at the end of the day, and I was like, you know what, I'm not in that huge of a hole. I was in like a -10 overall of a hole on JDST, and I was like, with the money I made from drip, I've pretty much made that back plus some. Obviously, like I said, I still finished positive 2.5% for the day. So my overall loss for JDST was like $10. So nothing bad, nothing too crazy or anything. I only had 3 shares anyways. So nothing big. Like I said, I just did not want to risk losing more money, which is what it comes down to at the end of the day, is risk versus reward. Could I have waited long term and waited for this to correct like weeks or months from now? Yes. But with a small account, like I always say, with a small account, you want to have the most quickest flips for the most decent amount of profits at the minimum and minimize those losses as possible. I had 3 shares, obviously equaled like $115 worth of my money. Obviously, I only have now almost $600, about $600 on the dot actually in my account. So that's over 1/6 of my account value. So I don't want to have 1/6 of my account hold up in something that could continue to go down in value. Surely that makes sense to you guys. I can't hit on that hard enough. Just cover profits, cut the losses as much as possible. And I mean, yeah. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up, everyone. I'm going to make sure real quick we don't have any questions or anything like that. We don't. Make sure stream is still doing well. Wow, shocker. We ended up going a half hour again. But hopefully this video did help you guys out. If it did, definitely make sure to smash that like button. I greatly appreciate it. And if there's any stocks in the future you want me to look at, possibly in like tomorrow or Wednesday's video, just shout them out in the comments if you see this after this video uploads. Down below. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there making those profits, achieving that financial freedom this year, and I'll see you guys in the next video.